We make films together, we make children together. And we're really, really excited to be able to show the film here.
This is our first time seeing film together with the actors, with the amazing Rosanna Arquette and Brian Cox. It's a special screening for us.
Please welcome Rosanna Arquette and Brian Cox.
Thank you so much, and I just am going to give it to the maestro himself.
There's nothing to say, really. You're going to see a film. And then you can talk. We'll talk afterwards. So, enjoy.
Just to let everyone know, we'll be holding this Q&A right after the film in Cinema 6, so there'll be space for you to just come down there, and you be sure to vote for the audience award with your ballot. Enjoy the film.
It's my pleasure to introduce our very special guest tonight. Please help me welcome back up directors Oded Binham and Michal Brezis. To fight your way through the crowd. And our other very special guests, actors Rosanna Arquette and Brian Cox. I'm going to start it off by just thanking you so much, all of you up here, for bringing Etruscan Smile to Palm Springs and for coming to Palm Springs to present the film. I'm sure, we have a full crowd. We had 2 full theaters, so I'm just going to open it up to the audience right now. Who wants to go first? Questions? Oh, we're shy. Well, how about this? How about let's start at the beginning. Can you just let us know a little bit, some background into how the Etruscan Smile started?
Yes. So actually, the producer, Arthur Cohn, legendary Oscar-winning producer Arthur Cohn, had the rights for the book for a very long time. He's 92 years old, by the way. And so, of course, he connects very personally and strongly to the film. And he came to us with a script. And at the time, our son, was more or less not much older than Jamie's age. So we, of course, connected very strongly. We also loved the book. And as we were starting to work on the script and do rewrites, actually we learned that Oded's mother just had been diagnosed with cancer as well. Today she's healed and well. But it was like, as we were working on it, it was life imitating art and art imitating life. So it was a very, very special connection, and I think it was for actually all the team. So many of the actors, etc., had a different but personal connection to the film. And of course, once Brian, Rosanna, and everyone was on board, we just knew we had the most amazing cast possible.
And how did the cast come together?
So, as I said, regarding Brian, I think not many actors have this amazing quality of being rugged and tough, and from the outside, but then being able to unpeel and reveal such a heart, and have both of them at the same time. And it shows in every frame of the script. And so once Brian said yes, it was
in a way, before Brian read the script, we already thought of him, and we kind of wrote his character as we knew it into the script. So when he said yes, that he liked it and he wants to be part of the project, it was a sigh of relief for us, because we actually didn't have somebody else on the list. And we just knew with Brian that we're good to go and everything would be okay. And Brian and Rosanna is the perfect match. And whenever I see the film, I just marvel at the chemistry and how well and you do it. And Rosanna has this spontaneity and spark that enables them to click in such a short time. So for me, they're the only possible.
We were very lucky to have them on board. Yes.
Questions, sir? Over here?
First, I just want to compliment you because that was there were two beautiful scenes. You with the little boy for me in the ocean, and you in the scene with Rosanna. And I just want to say thank you for giving us a man and a woman who are age appropriately matched.
It was more of a comment saying thank you for giving us a man and a woman that were age appropriately matched.
Now, I do have a question for Brian. This movie, it fits into a certain genre.
I'm sorry, I can't hear the question. What was that?
This movie fits into a particular type of genre. And what fascinated me was you chose not to spend 3/4 of your movie on backstory or explaining why they ended up the way they ended up. You were focused, just like your character says, in the now. That I found made it just different from all these movies. How did that affect how you approached it, knowing that you weren't going to unveil all those secrets that
I think I'm a great believer in not revealing any backstory. It's a great word that you use, in the now. I think all acting should be in the now, It shouldn't be something that we need that and that and that. And if you can't do it in the now, then you can't do it at all. And the great thing about the script actually was it was very much in the now, in the characters, and it was very unapologetic in terms of there was no. The great liberty in playing somebody like Rory was he was an incredibly unapologetic man. He was a man who just took no prisoners, right from the word go, with his relationship with Campbell and that fury that goes on between him and that sort of old enmity that's been their whole life. So in a way, I get bored with a lot of movies when I see them and they tell me the backstory and this and that, and I just want to be, please, can we be present? Let's just be present. Let's just see what's going on in the now. And I think, we achieved that, and with that lady, it was very easy to do that, because it fitted, but not just with Rosanna, also with somebody like Peter Coyote, for example, playing that just not amazingly sensitive and amazingly present, and Treat and JJ. I think JJ does a great job in the movie. So it's a very, very well cast film, actually. And the more I see it, the more I realize how great a cast it is. You don't get as good a cast as, right down to Tim Matheson as the Doctor. It was just wonderful performance. Simple, straightforward, no frills, but clear. The little thing about his family, but it's just, very, very present. Yeah.
Back there?
As the director, what is it like working with these babies?
Actually, casting a baby is very much casting his parents, because they're going to train him and work with him, and we had such luck. These parents were amazing. When we cast the babies, they were it's twins, so it's two babies playing one. And when we cast them based on photos, they were much younger because it was pre-production 2-3 months before, so they were 6, and we're just hoping that by the time 6 months old. And we were just hoping that by the time we get to the scenes where they're supposed to walk or speak a little bit, that they do it. Because they were at that stage, they were hardly even sitting down when we cast them. And that's because the parents were really working with them. They were so enthusiastic.
I think it's the only time that the parent trained his kid to sneak out of the crib. they really worked on it.
Sneaking out of the crib scene was, really scary. Because the dad, Ben, he was pushing him out of the. He was in the cot pushing him up, and he was struggling to get up, and he was getting up, and then he was getting his leg over the thing, and I'm going, come on, come on, come on, and inside I'm going, no, no, no. It was pretty. It was pretty traumatic working with them. You know, I mean, they were great. They were great. Those little babes. They were fantastic. They were truly phenomenal, actually. I mean, because they didn't walk. They couldn't walk, and they couldn't speak. You know, it was all pretend. You know what you see, and really, yeah, I think I agree with Rahel. I think that the parents are the stars of that. Actually, they really did an amazing. I mean, I thought sometimes it might have been a little bit too much, you know. I'm not sure if I would do that to my kids, you know. But they were incredible, and they were just very dear. And sadly, I would love them to see the movie, you know. But they're now big, you know. They're probably smoking and drinking.
Right over here.
Is Gaelic part of your background?
Is Gaelic part of his background?
Absolutely not. It's I have no. Well, it's hard to say because my background. Well, we're all the same. The Irish and the Scots are basically the same people. We're Celts. I had my DNA done about 10 years ago. 12 years ago, and the guy who did it said, it's very odd your DNA. And I said, why? He said, because basically you've gotten very few mutations. I said, well, I'm glad about that for a start. He said, no, I mean that. He said, I said, so what does that mean? He said, well, you've been with the same tribe for a long time. And I said, well, like what, maybe 300 or 400 years? He said, no, a bit longer than that. I said, well, what, I don't know, 1,000 years? He said, no, more like 5,000 years. And I was staggered by that information that I hadn't, I'd been with the same tribe. So, Irish and Gaelic, Scots Gaelic and Irish are similar, but they've diverged in a way. So originally, probably my ancestors, because they were Irish and they came to work in Scotland in the mid-19th century, they would have been Gaelic speakers. But sadly, I'm not, and it's an impossibly difficult language, Gaelic. I mean, it bears no relation at all in any shape or form to English. None at all. So it was doubly hard to do. And it was, one of the little trials of the film, shall we say.
Yeah, he walked around with all day with, speakers listening.
Trying to get it.
Between takes.
Yeah.
There's a question right in the middle over there.
I just want to say thank you for a good old-fashioned film.
Thank you. I'm one of the great sadnesses is I think there's not enough of good old-fashioned films. I think there's something that is really lacking. We've gone away from that kind of simple, what I call life-affirming stories, and this is very much a life-affirming story. And it's doubly difficult when you make a film like this and you work on it the way we all worked on it, passionately for it. And then when you get it out there, you realize that in these kind of cineplexes, you've got 5 cinemas showing blockbusters, showing everything, showing every kind of blockbuster you can imagine, and you've got one cinema, and all the other films are fighting for that one cinema.
Full.
And that's one of the problems of getting a film like this distributed, because the only way, I'm a great watcher of TCM, Turner Classic Movies, and I love Turner Classic Movies because I actually see those kind of movies, and I was watching a film called Deception this morning with Bette Davis and Claude Rains, and I just thought the acting in that is just truly, truly phenomenal in Paul Henry, and it was just amazing. And we don't see these kind of movies, they're few and far between. That's why festivals like this are really important, because they're really important in terms of showing these kind of movies. It's the one way that we can actually get these movies out there is by these festivals. The more festivals they are, the more popular and the more these kind of movies fit in.
There's a question right in the middle.
Just a few years ago.
It was only weeks ago, actually.
Seen change in the trajectory of women getting roles that they deserve more recently.
I'm sorry.
The question is
I missed that part.
the change.
The change.
Of women getting more roles in that
Change,
picture.
women are getting more work now.
Yes. I mean, it's slowly changing. I think it is. I do. Especially because of cable. All these wonderful roles that are happening for older women. Or older women. Anyway, but you're starting to see. We just like Glenn Close. We just saw this wonderful performance, and
I just want to ask, Madonna seemed so natural in that movie, and I think that was the first movie she ever made. What was it like working with her?
she was just becoming so exploding while we were making the movie. So she wasn't that. She was just like right at the top of this. I can't even speak. Exploding. I'm so sorry. And then she, I'm sorry. I can't answer. I don't know why. She was wonderful and sweet, and I didn't sleep for 2 days, and I'm so sorry. I'm so tired. She was really a nice girl. We got along really well. And then she married Sean Penn, and I hardly ever saw her again. I've run into her through the years, and I did go to her Oscar party last year, and she's kind of, hi, Rosanna, same, funny. Boy.
Is
Next.
the film going to be released?
Where's it going to be released?
Well, it's a slow process. There's now a British release, which is great, which will happen in July. It's played in Spain, it's played in Europe, in Israel. There's a release coming in July also. But we have no American release. Yet. Hopefully that will change. If there's anybody here tonight that's in the releasing of film business.
Word of mouth can help.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's the big problem with movies. Movies like this is getting the release, getting the distribution.
You could show it to HBO.
Yeah.
You're on Succession.
Yeah, I could show it to HBO. I might do that, actually. We're going to be filming we start the second season, and we're actually going to be filming in Scotland. Yeah. We're going to be filming, not the whole thing, but just we're doing an episode, a couple of episodes in Scotland.
If you haven't seen Succession yet, it's amazing. Succession, it's fantastic.
Succession, the show. Right over here, sir.
The filmmakers, I was very pleased to see full widescreen. The cinematographer, your director of photography, Javier.
Aguirre Surobi. Javier Aguirre Surobi.
Yeah, it took us a while to learn that.
Didn't see it. Just a little bit of explanation how it came to be a full widescreen, which I thought was a fantastic.
Questions about the cinematography.
We had great luck having Javier do this movie. He worked with Woody Allen. He worked on films with Meyer, like Talk to Her by Almodovar. So it was working with a giant, and you can all see the result. And Javier is also Spanish, and the book the adaptation is from a Spanish book. So it was actually a bit intimidating because he knew the book when we approached him, and we hoped that it won't undermine his feeling towards the script. But he was so attached to the script, so it was like a sign that we're on the right track. And
And just to say, for the scenery, you have to have a wide screen. And actually, from all the screenings, this was the most. I think we've never seen it in such high quality. So this is to say for the screening.
Yeah, this was pretty amazing.
This was really,
actually,
really good. I mean, at least, yeah.
It was pretty wide.
Yeah.
Where was the scene of the party and the golfing? Was that at the Ritz-Carlton? I mean, the
Half Moon Bay in San Francisco. That's a part of the reason we chose to shoot in San Francisco. It's got this combination of both modern city skyscrapers and at the same time it looks like Scotland in some way. So it worked very well.
Question in here?
Does it help to get distribution in the U.S. if we give ratings on IMDb or something like that?
Yes.
Everything helps.
Sure.
Everything helps. I think it's up to you guys now. I mean, I'm serious. I think you can do a lot now with the social media, and that can do things. That can shift paradigms. And this is probably my 5th festival showing this film, and every festival, certainly in the States and certainly abroad, the film has been received rapturously, absolutely rapturously. So it kind of is annoying that, and I think it's a very good notion. Yeah, put it on IMDb, put it on Instagram, put it on whatever, just get it out there.
Do you have a social media handle or something that we should all look for?
I don't know, do we?
Not official, but if you go, we can choose now. Etruscan Smile.
Yeah, you can choose that. Absolutely.
There's a question back there?
Yeah, I'm just curious. It's listed as a movie being out of Switzerland. I don't know whether you're Israeli or from the States, and you're from wherever, great United Kingdom. How did it end up being out of Switzerland or funded in Switzerland?
Well, Arthur Cohn is based in Basel, in Switzerland. That's his hometown. His father was a doctor in Switzerland who I think was able to allow. He facilitated, I think, something like in the area of 3,000 Jewish people to get out of Germany. His dad, and Arthur was born, and he started an amazing career. As my dad said, he's got 6 Oscars, and he was Vittorio De Sica's producer, and he produced the Garden of the Pizzicontinis, which is a wonderful film. And he also produced Central Station. He produced that amazing documentary on the Munich when the Israeli wrestlers were killed.
In September.
Yeah, in September. And so his track record's pretty good.
Right over here?
Could you speak to the title, the sculpture in the museum, and if there's a connection between that and the evolvement of the plot of the movie?
Well, I think the Etruscan Smile is the fact that you see these people who are dead and they're smiling. And it's about, this film, for me, this film is about making a good death. Rory's in big danger of making a bad death, of actually making a death where he died of what they call the death of the dog. And when he meets Rosanna's character, and she shows him this amazing sculpture, and then tells him the history of the sculpture, it has a profound effect inwardly on him. He never refers to it, but it's the thing that makes him go, yeah, I can't live in the way I've been living. I have to shift it somehow. And that's really what the impetus of the impetus is for the movie, for the story. I think it may be clearer in the book, but I think to me it was very, as I say, I don't want to kind of reveal everything. I just want the audience to do that. It's the audience's job. The audience it's you guys that, that make that connection and reveal it for yourselves. And hopefully it's a nice reveal. But I think that's what's key about this story, is the fact that those two people, that couple, who are both dead, are smiling, and it's and they're Etruscan, it's the smile, and that is about making a good departure. Does that make sense?
Yes,
totally. Good. Thank God for that.
We have time for one more question. Right there?
Rosanna, what brought you into this, and what did you see in the script that was unique to you that made you want to do this movie?
Well, I've known Arthur for a lot of years, and I've known Arthur Cohn for many years, and he told me about this about 9 years ago. I don't think the script had been written yet, but he wanted me to. At that time, he was telling me about it. He'd love me to do it, and finally the scripts came, and directors came in, and the most amazing actor came in, and so I was fortunate to be there. I loved that Claudia, understood that this connection was so important. They did have this connection, and that she was there to be a part of his process and experience love, even for a short time. I thought it was beautiful.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.